In the silence that precedes the dawn, when the world hasn't yet awakened and the air still holds the echo of night, there lies a truth known to the Stoics of old, to the seekers of wisdom, and to the souls who have learned that peace is not something you chase in the chaos of the world, but something you build within. Life is not a storm to be feared, but a sea to be navigated with principles as your compass. And in this journey, the Stoic path reveals itself not as cold detachment, but as warm resilience, a way of living so powerful that it prioritizes you, aligns you with the essence of nature, and gives your existence depth that shallow modern distractions cannot replicate. And so, today we embark not on a lecture, but on a pilgrimage across 12 Stoic principles, each forged in the fire of hardship, each echoing the voices of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, voices that whisper through the centuries that though we do not control what happens, we always control how we respond. Principle 1. Control what you can, accept what you can't. The anchor of Stoic thought, a principle that shifts the center of power from the external to the internal, a lens that frees the soul from the tyranny of events and returns it to the sanctuary of self-mastery. When the world falls apart, the Stoic builds from the inside out, focusing on thought, choice, attitude, things that no one can steal, no fate can alter, no force can bend. Principle 2. Practice voluntary discomfort. Not because the Stoic glorifies suffering, but because he or she understands that comfort breeds weakness when it's constant, that by exposing the self to difficulty willingly, the spirit becomes unbreakable, sleeping on the floor, taking cold showers, fasting, walking in silence. These are not punishments, but training ground for the soul to rise above craving and fear. Principle 3. Memento mori. Remember you must die. Not as a morbid thought, but as a clarifying one, for nothing aligns your values more sharply than knowing your time is finite. When death is your companion, life is never wasted. Words are chosen with care. Time becomes sacred, and regrets shrink beneath the weight of gratitude for now. Principle 4. Amor fati. Love your fate. Not just accepting what happens, but embracing it as necessary, as part of your growth, as a tailor-made fire that forges the steel of your character. To love your fate is to rise each day, not asking, why me, but saying this is for me, and finding in each hardship a hidden invitation to transform. Principle 5. The obstacle is the way. For the Stoic, problems are not blocks but blueprints. Adversity reveals the path, and obstacles are not walls, but doorways to strength you never knew you had. Every enemy, delay, rejection, or loss is not the end, but the teacher, the lesson, the sharpening stone for a sharper self. Principle 6. Dichotomy of control. The art of radical clarity, separating all of existence into two boxes. What is up to me, and what is not, and pouring all your energy into the former, freeing yourself from wasted emotion over the latter. Traffic, weather, others' opinions, all irrelevant to the soul that stands unmoved in the eye of the storm. Principle 7. Inner citadel. The invincible fortress within you, untouched by the world, built of your reason, will, and virtue. No matter what collapses outside, this place remains, and the Stoic returns here to find peace in solitude, purpose in suffering, and clarity in confusion. It is where the real self lives, and only you hold the key. Principle 8. Live according to nature. Not in the sense of hugging trees, but in aligning yourself with the deeper laws of the universe, with reason, justice, courage, and truth as your compass. To live naturally is to resist nothing that must happen and to do everything with harmony, with who you are, with what you value, and with what the moment demands. Principle 9. Focus on virtue, not outcome, because success is not in results, but in the effort, in the integrity of your choices. The Stoic does what's right not for applause, reward, or recognition, but because right is right, and when you align with virtue, even failure becomes sacred, even loss becomes meaningful. Principle 10. Turn the mind inward. Instead of obsessing over the noise outside, the Stoic retreats inward, examines thought, filters judgment, studies reaction, because the enemy is rarely the world, It is the undisciplined mind interpreting it. And through this introspection, clarity is born, peace is earned, and wisdom unfolds like a sunrise. Principle 11. Sympathia, the awareness that we are all part of a greater whole, that your suffering is not isolated but shared across the web of existence. With this comes humility, compassion, and strength, because you're not alone, because everything you do echoes in the lives of others, and the Stoic walks the world knowing his ripple can become a wave. Principle 12. Premeditatio malorum, the rehearsal of loss, of pain, of worst-case scenarios, not to wallow in fear, but to train the mind to stay calm under fire. By imagining misfortune ahead of time, the Stoic builds immunity to surprise and anxiety, so that when hardship comes, it finds a soul already prepared, already grounded, already unshaken. And so these 12 principles are not just intellectual ideas, but living truths. Each one a sword, a shield, a light on the path, a way of walking the earth with your head high, your spirit calm, and your heart unafraid. Because to live stoically is not to retreat from life, but to engage it more fully, with presence, courage, discipline, and grace. As you internalize these Stoic principles, you begin to understand the most profound truth. Life is not about achieving external goals, but about mastering yourself and your response to the world around you. The external world, with all its unpredictability, noise, and challenges, is a mere reflection of what you choose to perceive it as. The Stoic has no illusions about the nature of life. They know that pain, loss, and failure are inevitable, but they also know that these are not the end of the story. When you apply these principles, you shift the power back to you, back to the place where your true strength lies. You cease being a passive victim of circumstance and become the active creator of your reality. The first principle, control what you can, accept what you can't, becomes a guiding star. In a world obsessed with control, the Stoic teaches that true freedom comes from knowing what you can influence, your thoughts, your actions, your responses, and what you cannot, the actions of others, the weather, the past. By focusing solely on what lies within your sphere of influence, you gain a profound sense of peace. Life, with all its unpredictable forces, becomes manageable because you no longer waste energy on the uncontrollable. The second principle, practice voluntary discomfort, shifts your focus from seeking comfort and ease to cultivating strength through challenge. This isn't about masochism. It's about developing the fortitude to face life's inevitable discomforts without flinching. Whether it's enduring physical discomfort through cold showers or mental discomfort through facing uncomfortable truths, you embrace these challenges because they prepare you for the trials life will inevitably throw at you. Memento mori, remember you must die, is not a call to despair, but a call to urgency. By reminding yourself that your time is limited, you begin to live with greater purpose, making each moment matter. Time spent on meaningless distractions becomes time wasted. Your relationships, your passions, your growth, these become the treasures you value, not the fleeting pleasures that distract you from what truly matters. As you grasp the reality of mortality, you free yourself from the fear of death and embrace life with open arms. Amor fati, the love of your fate, transforms your relationship with adversity. Instead of resisting what happens, you learn to accept it as part of your journey. Every setback, every obstacle, is an opportunity to refine your character. Instead of asking, why me? You begin to ask, how can this help me grow? Through this shift, you turn life's challenges into fuel for your growth. The principle of the obstacle is the way reveals that adversity is not something to avoid, but something to embrace. Every challenge is an opportunity to become stronger, more resilient, more capable. The Stoic knows that greatness is born through struggle, that true strength comes from pushing through obstacles, not around them. And when you embody this, obstacles stop feeling like burdens and start feeling like blessings in disguise. Dichotomy of control is the Stoics' mental framework for discerning between what lies in their control and what is not. By eliminating frustration over the uncontrollable, you clear the mental clutter and refocus on what you can change. This clarity allows you to act with purpose and resolve, unburdened by the weight of things beyond your grasp. The inner citadel is the sanctuary of peace within you, the place where nothing from the outside world can touch you. It is built through self-awareness, through mindful introspection, and through a commitment to living by your values. The more you fortify this inner citadel, the less external circumstances can disturb your peace. Live according to nature is the Stoic call to align with the natural order of the world. It's not about rejecting the world, but about accepting it as it is and working in harmony with its inherent rhythms. The Stoic lives in accordance with reason, justice, courage, and wisdom, principles that are as much a part of the universe as the stars in the sky. By aligning with these universal truths, the Stoic becomes a force for good in the world, acting not from selfishness but from a deep sense of duty and harmony with all life. Focus on virtue, not outcome, shifts your perspective on success. In a world obsessed with results, the Stoic prioritizes virtue, the integrity of their actions, the sincerity of their efforts. You may not control the outcome of your actions, but you can control the quality of your character. By focusing on what is within your power, the Stoic leads a life of excellence, regardless of external success or failure. Turn the mind inward teaches you to look within for answers, to question your assumptions, and to examine your thoughts. In a world filled with noise and distractions, the Stoic understands the power of quiet reflection. By turning inward, you clear the mental fog, and you begin to see things more clearly. When your thoughts are aligned with truth, your actions become more purposeful and effective. Sympathia, the awareness that you are part of a greater whole, connects you to others and the universe. Understanding that you are interconnected with everything gives you a sense of humility and empathy. The Stoic walks the world knowing that their actions ripple out and affect others, and thus, they act with compassion, justice, and integrity. And finally, premeditatio malorum, the practice of mentally preparing for adversity, allows you to meet challenges with equanimity. By imagining the worst-case scenario, you prepare yourself for whatever comes. And when misfortune does arrive, you face it not with fear or shock, but with the calmness of a person who has already considered the worst and is prepared to move through it. These principles, when lived with conviction, do more than just change your perspective. They transform your entire existence. They free you from the shackles of modern life's distractions, from the relentless pursuit of external approval, and from the tyranny of unexamined desires. They give you the strength to face adversity, the wisdom to choose your responses, and the clarity to live a life aligned with your deepest values. Stoicism is not a set of rules to follow, but a way of being, a way of engaging with the world from a place of inner peace, strength, and purpose. In embracing these 12 principles, you embark on the ultimate journey, not towards external success, but towards the mastery of your own soul. And in this journey, you'll find not just transformation, but liberation. The liberation that comes from knowing that, no matter what happens in the world around you, you are always free to choose your path. As you journey deeper into the world of Stoicism, these principles become not just a mental exercise, but a lived experience, transforming how you approach every moment of your day. Each principle you internalize builds upon the previous one, creating a foundation of resilience, wisdom, and clarity that empowers you to navigate life with unwavering confidence. The teachings of the Stoics offer a blueprint for flourishing, not through the pursuit of fleeting pleasures or external accolades, but through the cultivation of a character that remains steadfast in the face of any storm. With the principle of control what you can, accept what you can't, you realize that the world is not your enemy, but a field in which you can grow. By shifting your focus to what is within your control, you open the door to serenity, unburdened by the weight of things that lie beyond your reach. This mindset becomes a source of liberation, freeing you from the tyranny of worry and regret. It is the realization that your inner peace is yours to maintain, regardless of external circumstances. The practice of voluntary discomfort teaches you the immense power of choice, to embrace difficulty and challenge rather than shy away from it. Every voluntary act of discomfort, whether it's enduring a difficult workout, facing an uncomfortable conversation, or stepping into an unfamiliar situation, becomes an opportunity to grow stronger, more adaptable, and more resilient. In embracing discomfort, you no longer fear what life may throw at you, for you are prepared to face it with courage and composure. Memento mori serves as a constant reminder of the finite nature of life, urging you to live with intention and purpose. Every moment becomes precious, a gift to be fully experienced and cherished. By contemplating death, you learn to live fully, without regret, and a focus on what truly matters. This principle fosters an appreciation for the present, for the people you love, and for the experiences that shape you. It removes the distraction of the trivial, allowing you to focus on what contributes to your growth and fulfillment. The embrace of amor fati, the love of your fate, transforms every setback into an opportunity for self-discovery. You begin to see that every challenge, no matter how painful or difficult, is part of your unique journey. The Stoic perspective allows you to accept life as it comes, recognizing that every twist and turn, every triumph and failure, is part of the grand tapestry of your existence. The obstacle is the way becomes a guiding principle that redefines failure. No longer are obstacles viewed as roadblocks, but as stepping stones toward personal growth. Each challenge is an invitation to strengthen your character, to practice virtue, and to deepen your understanding of yourself. When you face an obstacle, you no longer feel defeated. Instead, you rise to meet it, knowing that within it lies the opportunity to become a better version of yourself. The dichotomy of control clarifies the distinction between what you can and cannot influence, offering you the freedom to focus your energy where it will have the most impact. By letting go of the things beyond your control, you liberate yourself from frustration and despair. This mental clarity allows you to act with purpose, knowing that your efforts will be most effective when directed toward the aspects of life you can shape. The inner citadel becomes a refuge from the storms of life, a place where your peace cannot be disturbed. In cultivating this inner sanctuary, you learn to find stability amidst chaos, to remain unshaken by the turbulence of the world. The more you nurture this inner citadel, the more resilient and steadfast you become, regardless of external circumstances. Life according to nature guides you to live in harmony with the natural rhythms of the universe. It calls for an acceptance of the world as it is, and a commitment to acting in alignment with reason, virtue, and justice. By living according to nature, you tap into the wisdom that has existed for eons, drawing from the well of universal truth. This alignment fosters a sense of purpose and direction, as you begin to see yourself as part of a larger, interconnected whole. Focus on virtue, not outcome, shifts your approach to success. No longer do you chase external validation or material wealth. Instead, you seek to cultivate the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance in all that you do. The outcome becomes secondary to the integrity of your actions. By focusing on virtue, you find fulfillment not in the fruits of your labor, but in the labor itself, the process of becoming the best version of yourself. Turn the mind inward is the invitation to pause, reflect, and examine your thoughts and emotions. In a world filled with distractions, this principle calls you to turn off the noise and listen to the quiet wisdom within. Through introspection, you uncover the roots of your desires, fears, and biases, gaining a deeper understanding of yourself. This self-awareness empowers you to make choices that are more aligned with your values and purpose, leading to a life of greater fulfillment and authenticity. Sympathia, the recognition that you are part of a greater whole, fosters a sense of empathy and interconnectedness. By acknowledging that all beings are connected, you cultivate a deep sense of compassion for others and the world around you. This principle reminds you that your actions have ripple effects, and that by living with kindness and integrity, you contribute to the greater good. Premeditatio malorum prepares you for the inevitable challenges of life by imagining the worst-case scenarios. This mental practice strengthens your resilience, allowing you to face adversity with calmness and equanimity. By anticipating difficulty, you become less afraid of it, knowing that you have already prepared for it in your mind. This preparation empowers you to meet life's challenges head-on, undaunted by the unexpected. As you embrace these principles, you begin to see that Stoicism is not just a philosophy, but a way of life, a path that leads to true freedom, inner peace, and fulfillment. With each principle you adopt, you become more grounded, more purposeful, and more resilient. You realize that the key to happiness is not in the pursuit of external achievements, but in the mastery of your own thoughts, actions, and responses. The Stoic way of life becomes your anchor, keeping you steady in the face of life's storms, guiding you toward a life of wisdom, courage, and virtue. In the end, the Stoic path is one of liberation. Liberation from the tyranny of external circumstances, from the fear of the unknown, and from the endless pursuit of fleeting pleasures. It is a path that leads to the discovery of your true self, the self that is unshaken by the world around you, that is at peace with its fate, and that is guided by virtue and wisdom in all things. And as you walk this path, you discover that the real treasure of life lies not in the things you acquire, but in the person you become, a person who is free, resilient, and at peace with the world.